What's going on? Conrad, Metabolic AF. Today I'm going to talk to you about how cheat meals are ruining your macros and 5 ways to stay on track. Before I get into that, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, turn notifications on Spotify, iTunes, hit that bell button, leave a review. All helps the algo. Helps me help more people like you. All right, let's go. So, yes, I'm going to dive into basically how cheat meals are ruining your progress and your macros, and actually how you can stay on track. So what are cheat meals? Right, I talk about this all the time, right? What constitute a cheat meal? So basically anything that is unhealthy, right, quote unquote. So anything that is more nutrient devoid. Obviously it's a spectrum. It's not like it's either cheat food or it's not. It's like there's worse and better than others. So, you know, if you just think about like your normal like tacos and burgers and desserts and that type of thing, you're on the right track. That's what I constitute as a cheat meal, right? So why do we incorporate these in all of our clients' diet plans, and why are these so important? Restrictive dieting, there's a ton of research. Eating clean all the time, you are going to have a lower success rate on keeping to that nutrition plan long term, because psychologically you're going to feel restricted. The first thing you do when you feel restricted is you want it more, right? And then you go on the binge, you go all in, all out, right? So adding in cheat meals in a very structured and strategic way allows us to actually adhere to the nutrition model. And I've said this time and time again, but if we have a diet model that's really, really good, and we have a diet model that's okay, if you stick to the okay diet model 100% versus the really, really good one and stick to it 70%, you're gonna see way better results with the one that you stick to 100%. So the adherence to the diet model is the main focus and why that's so important, right? So the biggest thing I always see with cheat meals, right, is people thinking that they like it means like a free for all. You can eat as much as you want. No, calories are not binary. If you're eating 1,600 calories a day, if you go over by 1,800, or if you go over to 1,800 by 200 calories, versus if you go over by 1,000 calories to 2,600, you are going to have a lot bigger offset in your progress with the higher number, right? So the biggest thing I see is overeating and just undoing any progress that you made over the week or during the day, right? So it really also, when you're going that high over calories, or you're going that high over 20% of your overall intake coming from cheat foods, it's really hard to hit your protein, calories, and fats, specifically protein, because cheat foods are very high in fat and carbs, and they're very devoid in protein. So it's really hard to hit protein, then it's really, really hard to hit all three if you go over 20% of your overall intake coming from cheat foods. The psychological impact that keeping cheat foods out is basically a restrict and binge cycle, right? So if you're like, oh, I'm just gonna eat clean. I see it all the time, these yo-yo dieters, people starting and stopping programs. Like, fucking A, dude, just like let me help you. You know, you just want to like shake them. You're like, come on, just fucking do it, right? And I see it in clients all the time, like, no, motherfucker, like you're eating some cheap. You're gonna go have a pizza tonight, Sharon. Okay, you're gonna go have a drink tonight, all right? Because it's not gonna be sustainable progress. And like, cool, you lost a bunch of fat, but what's the point in doing that if you're not gonna keep it off for good, right? So 5 strategies to enjoy your cheat foods while staying on track. Number 1 is the 80-20 rule, right? So what is the 80-20 rule? 80% of your food coming from anti-inflammatory whole food sources, 20% coming from nutrient devoid, more cheat foods, right? This allows for us to have the flexibility while staying on track, but to still hit your macros, because again, if we stay under 20%, it's very easy to still hit our protein and then our carbs and our fat wherever our macros are on that day, okay? Number 2 is prioritizing calories and protein. So if you cannot hit your carbs and your fats, that's fine. Just hit your protein, hit your calorie target. That's another strategy you can use. This is really good too when I have a lot of clients traveling. It's just like, just hit your calories and your protein. It's not that hard. Like, you have a lot of food. Number 3, okay, this is the third strategy, is to plan all your cheat foods well in advance. This is good, especially if like you're not traveling and like you're doing it from home. You kind of have an idea what you're gonna eat throughout the day, and then that cheat meal, like yesterday, for example, I was like, I know I'm gonna have pizza from Gisala tonight. Like, I know that's gonna happen. So I'm going to go back into my MyFitnessPal and I'll program the entire day out so I can still have 2 slices of pizza. And it was great, and I really enjoyed it, right? So just making sure you're planning way ahead in advance. If you can't, right, you don't have that luxury, you're traveling, or you don't have control of the foods you're eating, just hit your calories and try to get as close to protein as possible, okay? Number 4 is choosing lower calorie cheat foods. So these are very voluminous. For example, I had a client that just made me, what is it? It's like a pecan Danish. And the whole sheet, the sheet's massive. It's like the size, it's like probably half this paper. It's like 400 calories. So choosing foods that are more voluminous and lower in calories that are still gonna be cheat foods is going to be really helpful for keeping you full and not overdoing it, right? Not going back for seconds. And the last thing is to be very mindful of your portions, right? Because like if you're having ice cream and you're not weighing it out, if you're eyeballing like, oh, I think that's a quarter of a cup, like that's, if you think it is, you can be under or over by like 200 calories, easy, especially with ice cream, it's so calorie dense, right? They do a ton of research. Even nutritionists who like track their food and like no calories and all that stuff, they will underestimate their food greatly. I think it's like, they did something that's like 50% more than what people thought they were eating is what they were eating, right? So it's like if you were eating 1,600 calories a day, 50% more than that would be 2,400. So you're eating 800 more calories, which is putting you in a surplus. So if you're ballparking your food, you're kind of fucked. So be very, very mindful of your portions. And especially if you are having these cheat foods, make sure you are, if you're at home, weighing it out on a scale, okay? So just to recap, I have all my notes here in front of me. 80-20 rule, prioritize protein and calories, plan your cheat meals in advance, choose lower calorie cheat foods, and be mindful of your portions, okay? If you want this all done for you, you value your time, you want someone to just stick to it with you, you don't have all this time to watch every single YouTube video I put out or give every freebie that I put out or every Instagram reel that I put out, you want this all done for you and you want a streamlined process, you value your time, this is the program for you, Metabolic AF. Go on Instagram at Dylan A. Conrad, DM Metabolic AF. Let me know that you came from either the YouTube or the Spotify or iTunes, wherever you listen to this, so I know where you came from. And I can get you more information on Metabolic as a female method. One-on-one coaching, nutrition training, hormonal assessments, one-on-one accountability so you actually stick to it and you never fall off again. Love you.